Hey everyone, it's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to go into the not only the Jets Jaguars game, but their path to the playoffs because I figured it would be just smart to cover them all in the same video. Now I will say there's appealing arguments for both teams. Both of these teams can lose or win, and it really doesn't affect their playoff chances. So we're going to go over the Jaguars' path to the playoffs right now. So for the Jaguars' path to the playoffs, we're going to assume that they lose, okay? Because we're playing devil's advocate. So also to preface this, in my last video, I had a few people saying like, "Oh, this team's not going to win. That team's not going to win." The reason I had certain teams winning was to show that even if all those teams were to win, the Dolphins still would have got in the playoffs. So it wasn't, those aren't my picks. As you know, I have the NFC East all getting in. I don't have certain teams getting in, but I just wanted to go over that because these aren't my picks. I'm basically just doing, just a crew draft and hitting the important ones that are relevant to the teams I'm covering. And in this case, it's the Jets and Jags. So we're going to have the Ravens win. We're going to have, in this case, doesn't matter too much, to be honest. Well, Dolphins win that game. Bills. And, I mean, we could have the Titans win. I like to be ridiculous. But like I said with my Dolphins, I like to be somewhat realistic. And we're going to go with let's go Commanders. See the Colts get an upset here. And again, these really don't matter that much. I'm literally just picking threats to the Jags wild card or the division, and the only one that I've gone differently on here is having the Titans not beat the Cowboys. I don't think that's the only one that I think would be kind of ridiculous. So now we're in the final week of the season. We have the Jags at home against the Titans without Tannehill. So just give this to the Jags, okay? This is after they lose to the Jets. The Titans win the same week. So nothing crazy. Titans lose to the Cowboys. And then we have this matchup. So we'll go, again, these other ones don't matter too much. I'm just going to pick AFC teams that are closer records to the Jags just to show. Again, this is for the sake of argument. I think Dolphins are winning that, to be fair. And again, this part doesn't really matter because we're going to go over all these teams. So the Eagles might be resting people. And so something like that, right? Now we're in the BAM, and Jags are the division leaders. So again, the reason I did that is because they have a very easy path to the playoffs if they lose to the Jets. Now we're going to go over the Jets' path to the playoffs. So in case you didn't know, I do have the Jaguars winning the division and getting in the playoffs. Say the Jets win right here. We're going to go over their path to the playoff. Let's be generous to them. Try and be realistic but generous at the same time. We'll say the Colts upset the Chargers. We'll say the Browns and the Ravens. I think the Ravens beat the Falcons. They're giving 7.5. We'll give the Packers this game. So basically the same thing I just did with the Jags, I'm doing with the Jets now. Just to, again, show what the Jets' path would be. We'll give this one to the Steelers. Let's say they get that one. We will give this to the Patriots because that means, again, they're competing with the Dolphins. This one we'll give to the Bills. We'll give the Jets this win. And I just can't see them winning in Miami. Now, again, we'll give the Bengals the win, so the Ravens don't have that win. We could even give the Broncos the win over the Chargers, just to be really generous to the Jets. And that basically covers the AFC. And if we do that, you'll see the Jets don't get in. Now, the only way they get in is literally winning out and then beating the Dolphins. And even there, they just get in. So that doesn't account for any other teams like the Chargers who might win a game. So I just don't think they're winning that last week in Miami. And by knowing that, again, I think it tells us the Jets' path to the playoffs. So now we have 3 teams' paths, in my opinion. Pretender, Jets. Contender, Jacksonville. Contender, Miami. That's my opinion. So we're going to start filling those charts in pretty quick. And I will be using the ESPN one soon. It is nicer. The only problem is the buttons are really small and it's a pain. Now to the important thing. Who's going to win this game? Well, again, we have Trevor Lawrence. I think he's getting in the playoffs. So I think he's got to be the draw. I think he has to look really good. Whereas the Jets, the other reason is I think they're going to have Mike effing White return just in time for Miami. So they want to make, not that they're going to lose out, but I don't think they're going to have Wilson looking too good. I also don't think people are going to be fading the Jets like people think. People know they have a good defense, that they can get going, and I think a lot of people are going to chalk Jacksonville's win up to a fluke. Now, I thought of the prospect of the Jets winning because, again, I think a lot of people think, oh, Jacksonville needs this more, et cetera, yada, yada, whereas the Jets' path is actually tougher. But I am going to go, again, we have the draw, and we have the team that it just seems like they're not going to get in. So it's going to be the one that, in my opinion, the one guy, and that's Trevor Lawrence. So it's a tough one, but I am going with the Jaguars to win this game on Thursday. I've had a lot of people that know a lot of stuff going into this with me, and I think not that they need the win. I just think they're going to get it. I think the Jets are going to lose, probably beat Seattle. That'll be just because Geno, a lot of quarterbacks have done terrible against their former teams this year. So it'll be interesting to watch. But because I think a little bit more of the public's going to be on the Jets at home, because Mike White's not playing, they want to push Lawrence, and I think the Jags do get in the playoffs. And while they don't need to win this week to get in, I think they want, in the public's eyes, them to look like a contender, not like the NFC South, at least not as bad as the NFC South. So I am going with the Jaguars to win this game. And again, now I have the Jaguars and Dolphins getting in the playoffs, and I have, obviously by default, I have the Jets not. We'll see if the Titans can get a wild card berth, but not looking likely. But yeah, that's what I have so far. I wanted to keep just going with these, and I figured with these 2 teams playing, why not hit them both at the same time? We could probably do the same with the Packers and Dolphins, but I already did the Dolphins. But games like that, Patriots, Bengals, etc. But that's basically it. We had a really good day today, and I figured instead of just doing 2 separate videos, we would hit the Thursday night game coming up as well as both teams' path to the playoffs. So just let me know what you guys think, if you think there's a better path or my paths are unrealistic. And again, the finals results, these aren't who I have all getting in. For the most part, it is on the NFC side, I can say that. But it's really just, actually, for the most part, for the AFC side, this is kind of who I have getting in, to be quite honest. But my point is, not all of these are going to be my exact. This is just for playing devil's advocate to show the paths. And in my opinion, the Jets don't have one. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.